episode 58, Purple Rain Podcast. Welcome back. Happy Father's Day. Let's get that out the way. Happy Father's Day, all the dads out there. Hope you enjoyed your day.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, that is Sutton Def. I am simply as10. You can find him on Twitter and Instagram at Sutton Def. You know what? If you don't even have it, just Google him. It's really not that hard. I mean, come on. I'm just going to make it easy for you. And then me, Instagram, simply as10.prod. Twitter, simply as10. Yeah, that's a bit. That's just how we enter it in. You know, it's the Elvis Dumerville, Peter Bulwer episode, the former LJ Ford episode. I mean, we're just everywhere today.
We are.
But yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Apologize to the Rain Gang for being a little bit late. Those of us who are watching the live stream. If you're not watching the live stream, you're watching the replay in your hashtag replay gang. Hi, shout out to you. Make sure you hashtag replay gang in the comments down below. But to all you guys watching live, I do apologize for being a little bit late tonight, but we do have a little bit to get into. There's not too much. We're at the point. This is kind of like the real off season. This is the off season right now. That's what it feels like. So there's not going to be anything really going on Ravens football wise until like a month from now when training camp starts. Right.
Yeah. There's like
so we've seen minicamp, and actually today there was some things that happened in minicamp that we didn't really get to hear about last week, or at least I didn't hear about until earlier today. So my guy Alex, he sent me a post earlier today on Instagram, and it was a couple of interesting things. We're going to share all those things with you guys. But first, let's see who is in the house tonight from the Rain Gang. We got Mod Rush in the building, kicking it off there. Mod Rush is in here, a Purple Rain pioneer. We got another Purple Rain pioneer, Void. Believe it or not, Void is a Purple Rain pioneer. He shows up every single time. Big shout out to him. He says, "Let's go." Devon Saunders in the building. Shout out to you, man. Kaylee Sports is here. What's up, man? How you doing? Jonathan Washington Jr. says, Rain Gang. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? Snipe Gang Douglas, YouTube in the building. Ryan Bollinger, Dewan 100, Fireline 107 says he hasn't been here in over a month.
Wow. A lot has happened. A lot has changed.
A lot has changed, yeah.
We're still here, though. That's never going to change.
We're still here. We're not done. But big shout out to all you guys in the chat. I see you guys still coming through. Mark Lopez is in here. King of Pujo. Brandon Collins says, good way to start on Monday. Hashtag Rain Gang. I like that.
True.
Click one in the house. What's up, man? Bryce H. Savage Raven. Yes, sir. I'm loving it.
Welcome.
My guy, Christopher Swain, is in the house as well. Big shout out to Christopher Swain. You know, I like to shout all you guys out. You know, that's kind of one of the things that we do here on the live stream. Nobody goes unnoticed. And if I didn't get to you right now, then I'll see your comments later on. I'll bring you up. I promise, man. See, Iron Addict is in there too. Daquan Jones. We love all you guys. Keenan Rick is. We appreciate all of you guys. So without any further ado, Alex, let's go ahead and get into what we were talking about earlier. What you and me were chopping it up about.
Yeah.
You have the Instagram post pulled up.
Of course, gotta pull it up.
Yes, sir. So we'll go through the kind of the bullet points one by one, and you can see the title of this video is Ravens Minicamp Sleepers. So what are some of the things that we did not hear about last week during Ravens Minicamp or the last 2 weeks in OTAs? Because of course the Ravens are very limited with what they show the media, what they choose to show the media. Yeah. So we have to kind of get these behind the scenes takes from guys like Jeff Zarebeck. So let's go through that list, Alex, and let's see what we're talking about. Sleepers in Minicamp.
And these are his takeaways, Jeff Zarebeck from The Athletic, I believe, the best Ravens reporter out there. So that's why I kind of was happy this was the one that was picked. So first off, we'll just get through players who did not participate. Patrick Ricard, his hip, Nick Boyle, Jacob Breland, Ronnie Stanley, Jawan James, Aaron Adoye, Derek Wolf, Amon Marshall, and Jordan Richards. Rashad Bateman and Jalen Ferguson didn't participate on Wednesday after practicing Tuesday. Bateman had a stomach virus, and Ferguson was a family matter. So, yeah, you won't hear about them. But first off, James Prochet was hurt late in practice in his upper leg area. He received medical attention but stayed on the field. That's good to hear. Sammy Watkins was on fire. He made catches all over the field, including some contested catches, which you could see in the videos that the Ravens posted. His best play was a long touchdown catch. He was guarded by Marlon Humphrey, and Marlon had good coverage, but Jackson's outside the number throw was perfect, and he found Watkins in stride.
You love to hear that, right?
Do you want me to just read that again, everybody?
Read through that one more time, yeah.
Sammy Watkins was guarded by Marlon Humphrey, and Humphrey had good coverage, but Jackson's outside the number throw was perfect, and he found Watkins in stride.
I thought he couldn't throw outside the numbers, though.
Yeah, all the Browns fans are telling me that.
Is Jeff Zrebiec really lying to us right now, or
Yeah, yeah. I guess he
no?
is because that's impossible.
No, but you love to hear that, coming from a guy who we acquired in the offseason. It just means that it's going to pay off, right? So
Yeah,
just Lamar and Sammy Watkins getting that chemistry down early, that timing down early, a lot of chemistry comes with trust too. We
yeah,
want Lamar to be able to trust a Sammy Watkins and all of his other receivers, and it's really, really nice to hear that they're already kind of on the same page. They're already making plays together. So when the season rolls around, because we still got about 2 months, around 2 months
months.
before,
Yeah,
the season, actually starts. By that time, I think they'll be really dangerous. I think they'll be dangerous.
yeah,
So we love to hear that. And of course, Sammy Watkins doing that on a top 5 corner in the league and Marlon Humphrey is even more,
yeah,
impressive as well. So even though we did see Rashad Bateman kind of get off against Marlon Humphrey, and it happens. They say everybody
yeah.
struggles with Hollywood Brown in the red zone. It happens. But
They can't be
yeah,
physical either. I bet they don't want a lot of
no,
shoving. So that's a real big part of Marlon's game. He's very physical at the line of scrimmage, the first 5 yards.
right.
So they're probably like they don't want to have an injury. So, but it's good to hear from Watkins. Next up, a standout was Benjamin Victor. He got things started off with a circus catch and tight coverage
Who?
down the middle of the field. Benjamin Victor. He ended practice by making another athletic catch with a defensive player all over him. He also had some other catches, including a touchdown in the back of the end zone. This is what I was talking about last week. Like, we always would hear about these no-name guys showing out in practice. I'm cool
Yeah,
with them showing out, but he's not the only one. Bateman and
yeah,
Watkins. This is all we had in past years. So I'm cool with this, but it's not like he's the only one. So, yeah.
yeah.
The defense, the defensive standout was Devontae Harris. He had 3 pass breakups. We got him on the waiver wire last year from the Broncos. I think his first game with us, he caused a fumble against the Steelers on Wednesday night. I'm looking forward to him being a backup corner. I know he'll come in the game because our corners always get hurt, but I think he'll make the team. So that's really good to hear.
But is it? Wait, real quick before you keep going. Devontae Harris, wasn't he the cornerback who was getting burned up by Baker Mayfield and the Browns in
They
that
were just
second
picking
Browns
on him.
game?
Yeah, they were just picking on
They were
him.
they were abusing him.
Yeah,
Like it was
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
So I don't
He
really
he
know how
he was
much.
against their number 1, number 2 corners. He's not a number 1. I mean, the receivers. He's not number 1 corner. He's good depth.
Who was he guarding that game? Wasn't it Higgins?
Either Higgins or Peoples. I think it was Peoples Jones.
Peoples Jones, and he
Peoples
was getting
Jones.
off on him.
Yeah,
Somebody was. It was
yeah,
it was crazy how Baker Mayfield would take a drop and just directly look to his side of the field and just look to pick on him. So I don't know how much stock I'm going to put into the whole Devontae Harris thing just yet. I have hope, guys can get better. I'm not saying that he's going to, that one Browns game defines his career. Not at all. I'm just saying, like you said before, Alex, sometimes we'll hear about Ravens mini camp, training camps, how these lower totem pole guys are kind of stepping up, and we get excited about it and whatever. But the title of this video is Mini Camp Sleepers. So Devontae
yeah.
Harris is definitely a sleeper. Maybe he has gotten better, and we'll have that much more depth at corner.
Next up, Miles Boykin had a good practice. He beat Ardarius Washington down the sideline on one instance. He also adjusted his big frame to catch a back shoulder touchdown later in practice. It took you long enough. I mean, you beat an undrafted rookie.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not putting too much stock into that.
Miles Boykin, this is his make or break season, man. This is his make or break season.
Yeah.
And let's stop and talk about Miles Boykin real quick, because
Yeah, let's do it.
he was one of the more productive players in the receiving core last season, believe it or not. He had his fair share of touchdowns. He had his looks from Lamar. So this season, with him going into a much more crowded wide receiving core with Sammy Watkins, Rashad Bateman, of course, you still got Mark Andrews in there. Tylan Wallace is in the fold now too. And then, the list kind of goes on from there. Where is Miles Boykin going to be able to get in where he fits in? Where does Miles Boykin truly fit in with this offense in 2021? What do you think?
I don't know where he fits in. Special teams.
Special teams.
I mean, if we're talking jump balls, I'm taking Bateman over him.
All right, let me set up a scenario for you, Alex, and the rest of the Rain gang.
Okay.
The Ravens are down 2 scores. We'll say 10
Okay.
points. 2 scores,
Okay.
10 points. Fourth quarter, It is 3rd and 8 from our own 22-yard line. So our
Okay.
backs are up against the wall, kind of.
Okay.
Who do you want on the field to catch the football?
Mark Andrews,
Okay, that's
Marquise
one.
Brown. How many?
Hollywood.
Am I allowed five wide, or are we going?
We're
We'll
five
go
wide.
four.
We're talking
Oh,
five.
five wide. Five
Yeah.
wide.
Even no, actually, let's do 4 and 5. Let's do 4 and 5.
Okay. Okay. So for four,
You said Hollywood
Hollywood,
Brown,
Watkins,
right?
Mandrews.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Boykin, but he hasn't shown it to me. Like, when has
Mm-hmm.
he ever made a 50-50 catch?
This is true. I haven't seen it really in. I mean, most of his catches are like, wow, how did that happen? How did the defense blow the coverage like that bad? Or it's like a
Yeah.
play broke down like really really badly, and Lamar is just trying to find somebody. He's just trying to find an out, and Miles Boykin just happens to be there. It's not really more so like 3rd and 8. You need a guy to go up and just be an alpha and make a play. He's just not that type of guy. He's not that type of receiver. Like you said, contested catches really aren't his thing, despite him having that big frame. So, like we said again, where does he fit in on this offense on
I'd
a
take
on a
Nick
third
Boyle
and
over him in
seven?
that situation.
Really,
I've
that's
seen Nick Boyle made a catch like double coverage against the Chiefs, like to bring us back in the game.
mm,
Boykin was running into Willie Snead. They were running
yeah,
into each other.
yeah. So let's see. Let's bring up some of what you guys are saying here in the chat. We got our guy KLA Sports saying Boykin and Lamar need to develop their chemistry. They are never on the same
Never,
page. So I
never.
mean, is it Boykin and Lamar need to develop their chemistry? Because we're hearing about Sammy Watkins already showing some pretty good chemistry with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, they
You
already
know,
have that.
early signs. So who is it? Who's the problem? Is it really Lamar and Boykin as a unit needing to develop their chemistry, or is it Boykin not stepping up and being that guy, or fulfilling that role that he really could?
Why wasn't he in Arizona in the offseason?
Good question. Good question.
I mean, I
I
don't want
mean,
to say that's the only reason, but
yeah.
Dobbins was there,
Mm,
Manders was there, Hollywood, Watkins, Lamar.
yeah.
That was before we even drafted Bateman. Was he like just getting a little too like comfortable?
I don't know if it's just comfort. I don't know if it's scheme. I don't know if just the coaching really isn't trying to draw up plays for him, so to say. But whatever it is, it needs to get fixed, and it needs to get fixed fast, because if Miles Boykin does not have a prevalent role in this offense this year, he's gone. He's
Yeah.
gone. Because I mean, we just spent a 1st-round pick on Rashad Bateman. We just spent cap capital on Sammy Watkins. We're about to probably pay Mark Andrews a pretty good contract too, on top of Lamar
Well
Jackson.
deserved.
Well deserved, of course. So
Yeah.
if he doesn't get in where he fits in soon and soon enough, he's going to be gone.
If I'll be honest, man, I'd take Duvernay over Boykin. I think of the game last year against the Steelers, Duvernay was just wide open. There was nobody around him. Like, home game against the Steelers. I'm like, we're driving to try to win the game. Wide open and catches it.
Yeah. Yeah. I
He
mean, I
found
would
the
probably
soft
take
spot.
I would probably take Duvernay as well. I mean, like you said, finds a soft spot in the defense, doesn't just kind of run aimlessly. Sometimes it seems like. But let's see what else you guys are saying here in the chat. Jonathan Washington Jr. says he would take Mark Andrews, Hollywood, Bateman, Sammy Watkins, and Duvernay. Duvernay can make plays. He just doesn't get the chances. Look at that play in the Pittsburgh game, to your point, Alex. Yeah, I mean, if we're going 5 wide, I like that lineup. You?
Yeah, I do. Because Bateman, we saw him make contested catches in college. We've seen Sammy do it. Hollywood will try to find a soft spot. I mean, yeah,
Right.
we don't have a tall physical receiver outside of Boykin. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Mark Andrews, it's 50-50 with him.
I think that this year, let's see what we have here. Brandon Lewis, thank you so much, says Boykin is not a good route runner. And then Christopher Swain follows that up and says Boykin's route running is not the best. He could have more urgency in running his routes. He seems too relaxed to me. Now let's think about this, guys. Let's think about this for a second. You guys are saying that he's not the best route runner. When it comes to like execution, actually playing the wide receiver position, he's not the best at it. Okay. But didn't we just go out and get guys in Keith Williams and T. Martin who are designed, well, not designed, their whole job is to make receivers better in terms of execution. So we should see, with that logic, we should see a vast improvement in the game of Miles Boykin. And I hope he gets some of the opportunities. Again, preseason, I think, is going to be big. You know, I hope Miles Boykin is working hard, you know, and in contact with Keith Williams and T. Martin. And I want to bring them up in a second as well, because I saw something really cool the other day that I don't know if you saw or the rest of the Rain Gang saw, but I want to bring something up. But I think that Keith Williams and T. Martin should play a big role in the development of Miles Boykin. And if it doesn't, then I guess we can really kind of see who the problem is, right?
Yeah, we'll be able to tell. I mean, when has he made that next jump, like the next step?
Right.
We saw Marquise Brown. I mean, he had his drops as the Boykin, but who showed up in the playoff games? Where was Boykin? Can we talk about his playoff stats? Can I just look him up real quick? I don't think he has a catch in the playoffs. I honestly,
you can look him up. We can see. Of course, we know the Ravens as a whole, they struggle in the playoffs, especially that offense.
Yeah.
But Boykin's playoff numbers would be interesting to me. How many targets is he getting? Receptions. Yeah, we'll definitely see that. Let's see. We got our guy Keeping It Real in the house. Says, what's going on, guys? Thank you so much for joining the stream tonight, man. We appreciate you. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to his channel as well. He actually just dropped a video on the whole Sixers and Ben Simmons thing, and I'll talk about that later. Y'all know I'm a Ben Simmons fan. I'm going to talk about that later. But shout out to you, Keeping It Real, for joining the stream. K-Dog says, smash that like button. Mod K-Dog has spoken. So make sure you guys smash that like button. What do you got for us, Alex?
In our first game, well, his first playoff game, he had 7 targets, 3 catches, 26 yards. Lamar threw 59 times that game. 3 catches, 26 yards. So we go to 2020 now. Against the Tennessee Titans. 1 target, 0 receptions. On that target, that got picked off. Against Buffalo, 4 targets, 3 receptions, 20 yards. He had 6 catches for 46 yards. And now one of those catches meant a damn.
Right, man. And I think probably like the problem is that like he has limited opportunities, but when he does get those opportunities, he's not as explosive as you would need him to be to maximize those opportunities all the way. You know what I mean? Like I see somebody in the chat saying that Duvernay has more, well, Brandon Lewis says Duvernay is more explosive than Miles Boykin, and we've seen that. We've seen Duvernay run back a kick return, you know, for a touchdown
against the AFC champions.
Exactly. If there's anything that says or screams explosiveness, is that, and I think we're only really scratching the surface when it comes to Devin Duvernay, and he's another one that we really hope gets more reps going into the season and just more opportunities, because he could be a hell of a weapon for us for sure. Let's see. Right. Shahali says, first time with you guys. Much love. Thank you so much for joining the stream. We appreciate you. Let's see. Asmodeus chimes in and says Boykin should be a tight end. How do you feel about the tight end talk? I know that the competition for tight end 3, and I think that's probably one of the bullet points you're about to read off. The competition's heating up. So how would you feel about Boykin maybe shifting over to that position?
There's even more like limited opportunity with tight ends. I mean, we have so many. I think, Jacob Breeland, I believe, he is probably going to get cut. He got injured and he has got surgery again. So Eli Wolf, Eric Tomlinson, and Josh Oliver, I believe, are the ones fighting it all out. Did I miss anybody?
No, I think you're good.
All of them? Pretty sure.
I think that's about all of them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. Up. Here we go.
Oh my God.
We have our first super chat donation of the night coming from.
Can we just
This one's coming from our guy Gerald. None other than our guy Gerald from way downtown. I don't even have the Mike Breen bang.
This isn't even downtown, now, bro.
But
he's in a whole nother fucking state.
He's in a whole
outside the arena.
Stadium.
Oh my God.
Man, Gerald, nonetheless, man, we appreciate you as always. I appreciate you, Gerald, for reaching out to me on Twitter earlier with words of encouragement. Don't think it went unnoticed, because it did not. I appreciate you, man. We appreciate you for the donation so much each and every time. His question is as follows. Which receiver will earn the most passing yards in 2021/22?
Real quick, Jared, I'm going to the Orioles game tomorrow. Let me just get that out the way. So I know you've been asking me. But what receiver were earned? Hart says Marquise Brown. Mine. Well, would Mark Andrews be considered a receiver? Because that's my
Yeah,
pick.
yeah, you
Because
can.
that's Lamar. I'll go with Mark Andrews. I think Andrews is probably still going to be his favorite target. And we're banking on a huge year from him, and I think it's rightly so. I think he's going to be in more single coverage, and he'll be just picking people apart. He'll be like a Kelsey, finding the soft spot. So I'm going to go Andrews.
Hmm. Okay, I like that. I like Andrews. But for me, for my money, I think I'm gonna have to go with Hollywood, man. I'm gonna have to go with
Okay.
Hollywood only because of like his big play potential. You know what I mean? Like Mark Andrews, he can have a lot of good plays. When it comes to like receptions, Mark Andrews might have more receptions than Hollywood Brown, but when Hollywood Brown gets the ball, like Lamar said, they're focusing on deep plays down the field, you know, and that involves Hollywood Brown. He's kind of like our deep threat. So I feel like on his big plays, they'll be like, what, 60? He'll probably have like a couple 60, 50,
50,
60 to
60.
70 yard, you know, touchdown plays. And that's
Even he'll
really
turn
going
a slant. We saw him doing in
he'll
his first game of his career. He turned a slant into a 75-yard touchdown against the Dolphins.
against Minka Fitzpatrick. We saw that, you know what I mean? So it's like,
He owns them.
shout out Minka, but but nah, man, I think for that reason, just the yards after the catch and just the fact that Lamar, he's going to get his most air yards, Lamar Jackson, throwing to Hollywood Brown because he's going to probably be throwing deep to him. But like Alex said, even on slant routes, short, intermediate routes, he can turn a little into a lot. So yeah, let's see.
I wanted to bring Sammy Watkins into it, but I just don't think he'll play every single game
Yeah,
compared to
it's kind
Mark
of hard.
Andrews.
Right. It's kind of hard to bank on Sammy Watkins being healthier. The Ravens even just making him a focal point of the offense week in and week out, knowing that he does have an injury history and knowing we are playing a longer season than ever. And we need to be ready for the playoffs and to make a deep playoff run. So, needless to say, like you guys see my sign says here, hopefully you can see it, Zone Busters for the win. Zone Busters for the win. Hopefully somebody out of there gets 1,000-yard receiving season. I think it's going to be Hollywood. But maybe it'll be Bateman. Let's not sleep on
It could
Bateman.
be.
Let's see. Our guy Fireline 107 says, I bet 100 Bateman will do it.
Fireline. We hold the receipts. We will hold you accountable.
We will hold you accountable, bro.
Are you sure you want to say it? We'll give you one more chance. You can double down on that.
All right, you can double down on that if you want to, bro. Let us know. Let us know. Let's see. Gerald, he follows it up. He says, if the passing game clicks, I figure probably Andrews, but I think it's going to be Hollywood. See, me and you, Gerald, we're right here. We're right here.
Intertwined.
Right here with
Let's see it.
Chris Reed says the dark horse would be Sammy Watkins. I think him and Lamar will be special. Good point. I mean, like you said, like we talked about earlier, Lamar Jackson and Sammy Watkins, they've already showed early signs of chemistry in minicamp. So this is definitely possible, but the longevity and, you know, just being able to stay healthy over the entire season, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. I'd probably bet on Bateman doing it more than Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Yeah.
Because I think he might be healthy scratch a couple of games. Just might be on a pitch count. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. It'll be one of those type of deals. All right. So let's
Continue?
see. Yes.
Okay. Speaking of tight ends, Josh Oliver, everybody's favorite acquisition, had a good practice. He had an early drop, but shrugged it off and then turned his practice into a productive day. The tight end competition is tight, but the current favorite for the third tight end is indeed Josh Oliver.
Okay.
Our guy, Patrick Queen, has been focusing on his pass coverage. A struggle for him last year. He's looked better in that department. So he's stuck to his word, and he's improved in his weakness.
Yeah.
Sean Wade has been relatively quiet, but had a good practice last Wednesday. He ran stride for stride with Devin Gray, one of our new signings, on a deep ball and forced the incompletion. Wade had trouble with Brown in the red zone drill, but all the Ravens corners struggled with that task. Makes sense.
Isn't that telling? Isn't that telling though? That's like such like interesting, like juicy news. Like you're telling us that like guys cannot guard Hollywood Brown in the red zone, and we have a top 5 secondary in the league. That's dangerous, man. That's dangerous. Because you imagine, like, I think probably one of the bigger reasons why we weren't as lethal in the secondary in 2020 as we were in 2019 was because of the offensive line. Look at the
No
offensive line.
time.
Look at the no time. Look at the divisional game against the Bills when Hollywood Brown was open. He was open
He
for a
put up like
touchdown that
7 for
would have.
120 something, I believe. I mean,
Yeah,
I can just go
yeah,
back to his year when he was hurt. When we had a good line, he cooked Jalen Ramsey. 2
right.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
2.
So, hey, man, I could definitely
With the screws
see
in his feet. Come on.
this is true. He did have the screws in his feet for sure. But yeah, let's see. Brandon Lewis says top 5. Nah, we have a top 2 secondary if we're healthy, and we ain't too. I like
Talk
the
about it.
confidence there. I like
Talk
the
about
confidence
it.
there. I definitely I would agree. I would say probably top 3 when it comes to like talent. You got Marcus Peters, you got Marlon Humphrey. We're deep with Jimmy Smith,
I'm gonna
Tavon
tell you right
Young,
now. We're gonna have to talk about Anthony Averett too. I am high on Anthony Averett.
Double A, Co-Cap. Yeah, I mean of course, man. Um, let's see. What else we have from just a quick question from Love West says, do you guys see Sammy Watkins re-signing with us, the Ravens?
I don't know. I mean, Devontae Adams is a free agent next year, and I would love for the Ravens to take him. I mean, he trained with Keith Williams,
Yeah.
but that's a very Ravens move. I can see us like signing him mid-season to an extension, so I can see it happening.
Mm-hmm.
But it depends because I really and we're gonna have so much cap. I think we have 43 right now, but I think we'll cut Brandon Williams. We'll get even more cap. I think getting Devontae Adams it can happen. We have the cap for it. I mean, if we're smart with how we re-sign Lamar and Andrews and Deshaun Elliott.
Yeah, speaking of that Lamar contract, apparently it's coming sooner than later. They're trying to get a deal done sooner than later, so we'll continue to monitor that. But what else you got for us, bro?
John Harbaugh said that the starting left guard job was wide open. He mentioned Powers, Cleveland, and Phillips being in the mix. I think it's between Powers and Cleveland. I don't think we should move Phillips inside, especially left guard. Right guard, right guard is where I think Ray played. And then Tylan Wallace has been solid. He's made some catches each day.
Okay.
So that is it. If you want me to read them again, I will. But all in all, really good. And knock on wood, none of those bad things that happen. I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Right. All right. So, I mean, you mentioned Tylan Wallace, showing some strides in minicamp. That's pretty good news as well. I think that with this receiving core being so deep, the competition is just so stiff. It's like, it's great. It's really amazing because we're not going to be going into this season not knowing who the dogs on our team are. I think like the dogs on our receiving core, you've got Hollywood Brown, you've got Mark Andrews. It's looking like Sammy Watkins is going to be one of those guys. We've seen Sammy Watkins step up.
He's looked the best at any receiver.
Right.
And this is saying something.
Right. We've seen Sammy Watkins perform well in the playoffs and in a Super Bowl.
Week 1, Sammy.
And week 1, yeah, exactly.
I have the picture of what he did week 1 against Jacksonville. And this is crazy. He went 9 receptions, 198 yards, and 3 touchdowns. The same day, Lamar Jackson went 17 completions, 324 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Bring me week 1, Sammy, and week 1, Lamar. Las Vegas Raiders, good luck.
Oh, yeah. The Raiders, definitely good luck to the Raiders, man. They're going to have their hands full dealing with the Ravens. Isn't that game on prime time? Am I mistaken?
Monday Night Football.
Monday night. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Week 1, Lamar, this 38-6 against the Browns.
Yeah.
Sammy put up a really good week 1 last year. I'm telling you, watch out.
Yeah. All right, let's see what you guys are saying here in the chat. The April123 says, I remember reading a stat that Hollywood is one of the most efficient wide receivers in the red zone.
I would love to
believe
look
it, man.
That'd be beautiful.
Yeah. Definitely love to look that up. But I definitely believe that, man. And I think we are really underrating Hollywood Brown. I think a lot of people underrate Hollywood Brown, how good he really is. People see Hollywood Brown as just a deep threat, but that's not what he is.
And you think of his drops. Like, when he got the drops together, he was a monster.
Yeah, like back when we were calling him Marquise and everything with the drops, when we had that whole thing going on, we had our doubts, but we knew that like drops are more of a mental thing for these professional athletes, man.
Yeah,
and once he got over that, he showed that he can be a number 1, if not a number 1, at least like a number 2 or a 1B receiver type guy. And in the red zone, just us seeing in minicamp how good he is in the red zone. And like our guy, the April 123, bringing up the stat that Hollywood is so good in the red zone, or very efficient in the red zone, is very, very telling. Think about just how much of a playmaker he is in the red zone. It's not just his speed. It's about him being able
His
to
route
adapt to the
running.
play, his route running. Think about the touchdown he caught from Lamar Jackson in the Cowboys game, where Lamar Jackson was in trouble, had to roll out, and
He
Hollywood sensed that. He
spun
noticed that.
whatever corner that
Spun him.
was.
Exactly. Spun him around and then just caught the ball in the back of the end zone. Great throw by Lamar. Great play by both of them, but just goes to show how underrated not only Hollywood Brown, but that duo of Lamar Jackson to Hollywood Brown in the red zone truly is.
I think what people forget about, he put so much pressure on himself with that tweet, like the Soldier tweet. I know we don't talk about it, but think about how old is he's like, what, 23, 24?
I think he's 23, yeah.
You're a young man that you just bring a bunch of pressure because you want to do better. You're trying to excel everybody else, and you're frustrated.
Right.
And he put that tweet on. They had fans coming after him, so it's like he was trying to do his best, and it just got to him. But after that, I mean, he had a terrible start to that Browns Monday night game, but he showed up in the end, and that's where it clicked, and he turned it around. I mean, I'm all for it. Because after that, he just turned into a different animal. The drops were gone, so I am all in on Hollywood this year.
Yeah, me too, man. Let's see what else you guys have here in the chat. My Siri is going off. I don't know why. All right. Let's see. Kayla Sports brings up the top position battles right now in that Ravens roster, in that camp. Tight end 3, right guard, wide receiver 6, DN 1, slot cornerback, and cornerback 4.
Is it right guard or left guard?
I think it is.
Where is Zeitler? I thought Zeitler was playing.
Zeitler's on the right, so it is. It will be left guard. It's left guard. Yeah. Yeah. I think. These aren't. You're talking wide receiver 6 top position battles. That's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
That's a deep receiving core. We're looking for the 6th best tight end on our receiving.
The only one that scares me is defensive end.
Yes, right. We haven't addressed that yet. Besides draft.
And I see people saying we haven't heard much about the edge. I don't think we will, because I don't think they want them rushing the quarterback in these little mini camp. I think they'll go against somebody, but you can't touch the quarterback. That's why they wear a different color jersey. So I don't think we'll hear about them until training camp. If that's, until we maybe go against other teams,
right?
Which I don't even that hasn't been announced yet. But yeah, I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah, this comment right here from KLA Sports should tell you that the Ravens actually do have a really good roster. We're not looking for a tight end 1. We're not looking for a running back 1. We're not even looking for a wide receiver 1 anymore. We've got our guys. We're ready to go. We're ready to go for the most part. There's still a few holes that we could patch up, but that's any team on the NFL. So
if we can go through it real quick, tight end 3, I think Oliver's going to get that. What do you think?
I'm thinking Oliver too, with the news that you just gave me from Jeff Zrebiec. It's kind of like a no-brainer. Eric Tomlinson, he was good in certain situations. I liked him blocking. He did have that drop against the Steelers that really bugged me. But
No. That was Luke Wilson.
That was Luke Wilson?
No Eric Tomlinson slander allowed. That was Luke Wilson.
Okay.
Tomlinson never got thrown to. It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, Luke Wilson. That's why I got cut.
Okay, I got you. But,
I wouldn't mind Tomlinson on the practice squad. He'd be a good backup tight end to have. I'm cool with that. Or maybe if Boyle's not ready, I wouldn't mind him stepping into.
Speaking of Boyle, and speaking of Ronnie Stanley as well, I think both of them are on track, right?
Mm-hmm.
For training camp.
They said Stanley should be ready, which is big. I think we need Stanley to be in the preseason because I don't want him playing if he's not ready.
Yeah,
we do not want that.
Right. Yeah, that's good news, man. That he's rehabbing. His rehab has went really well, and that he's on track to be back for the start of the season. Because he's gonna be pivotal, vital. Lamar's blindside, man. He's gonna be pivotal into the what these receivers, our newfound receivers, can do. Yeah, so,
and I was actually rewatching the 2018 wildcard game. Bro, our line was terrible. Stanley, Zeus, Bozeman, terrible. He had the jitters of his first playoff game, so he's kind of getting more into himself. I'm looking forward to seeing him this year. I think he'll be up there for the top tackles in the league.
We got our guy Engraven Videos in the house as hashtag Rain Gang. Yes, sir. What's up, man? How you doing tonight? We appreciate you for joining the live stream as
Thank you, thank you.
always. Make sure you guys, if you're not already, go ahead and subscribe to Engraving Videos as well.
I think he's going live tonight too. I'm pretty sure. I'm
Is
just
he?
saying. I'm pretty
Okay,
sure.
okay.
Might be going
Y'all
through.
know where to y'all know where to go. Y'all know where to go after this. We're not gonna hold y'all too much longer either, we
Yeah.
promise. But let's see. I think with that, that was all that we had from Minicamp.
Yeah,
Right?
that was everything. But yeah, I know we
Yeah.
got it.
Let's see. We do have another super chat donation coming in from our guy Gerald. But before we bring up that donation, I'm just going to go ahead and formally transition into our
Yes.
question segment of the
Get
night.
him in, get him in, get him in
Yeah.
ASAP.
So we're going to
Like
start the
anything.
question segment early.
I'm
Anything,
talking anything.
anything, talking anything. You know what I mean? My guy Gerald, he brings up, he
Cheap
says,
money.
yeah, my next question is with the Ravens running attack and the team coil of receivers, do you think LJ will run less this season?
I don't think he's getting 1,000 yards this year. So yes, I
Yeah.
think he will run less. And I think he should run less. I think he should only run if he needs to, or if
Yeah.
teams just aren't expecting it.
Right.
Kind of like the Titans. They weren't expecting on 3rd and 9 he's going to take off, and what did he do? He burnt them. See, I expect him to run less. I wouldn't. I'm going to say 750 yards rushing. That's kind of the ceiling. I'm going to say 750 because I think we got to be smart with him. Yeah,
Definitely got to be smart with him. Like going into contract year coming up. We got all the weapons around him, so he shouldn't have to run as much. You know, we went and compiled weapons, so we don't have to be so predictable on 3rd and less than 5. Like it's going to be a QB power to Lamar Jackson, and we know he's just going to try to get it with his legs. No, we have the weapons in order to, open up the playbook on those type of plays, on those type of possessions, down and distance wise. So I definitely think that LJ will run less this season. And thank you so much again, Gerald, for your donation.
Thank you.
We appreciate you, bro, each and every time. We have another Purple Rain Pioneer in the house. There is the official.
There he is. Thank
Says,
you.
yo, Rain Gang. What's up, man? We appreciate you for coming through the stream tonight, as always.
Yes.
Let's see. Rain Gang questions, Q&A. If you're not watching the live stream, guys, and your hashtag replay gang, leave your questions down below, please and thank you. Also, if you're just coming through, hit that like button. Hit that like button, guys. It helps us out so much. So much. So we appreciate you. If you hit the like button, if you're new here, also hit the subscribe button if you are enjoying the content tonight. Yeah. So we'll get into our next super chat donation. This one coming in from our guy Asmodeus. Asmodeus the Natos. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. He says, would you rather hike in the mountains or surf in the beach? Hashtag Big Macs.
I want to say surf in the beach, but I'm very scared of sharks. I'm very scared.
But sharks don't really kill all that many people.
I got that good blood.
You got that good blood. They're gonna come after you.
Honestly, this is a win-win. So thank you, Asmodeus. Like I would do either, but I'm ready to go surf probably. As long as the waters are safe, I'll go surf.
I'm gonna go hike in the mountains just because I love hiking.
Fair enough.
All right. Let's see what other questions we have. I see some of you guys. Let's talk about those Sixers. Bryce H says, all right. So as you guys know, I'm a big Sixers fan, have been since I was a little kid. Ben Simmons, I was a fan of his too. I'm still a fan of Ben Simmons. I'm just disappointed. I have Ben Simmons jersey, as you guys know, so obviously I'm a fan. Ben Simmons was not able to go out there and take over the game or even contribute to the game, not even take over, contribute to the game in any way other than passing the basketball. And that's just not going to get it done in the NBA, in postmodern NBA, where you've got all these super teams, these big threes who can all score and shoot. If you can't shoot, you can't be as ball dominant as Ben Simmons is. And I think that was truly the downfall of the 76ers ultimately. But I'm not going to spend way too much time on that. We're going to get into the next question here. Let's see. Fireline 107 says, who do you want to win the NBA Finals? So now we're down to the Hawks, the Bucks, the Suns, and the Clippers. Now, who do I want to win the NBA Finals? I want the Phoenix Suns to win the NBA Finals. I really think Chris Paul deserves that ring. I think Devin Booker has been absolutely balling out of control. Some people are comparing him, saying that he might be the next Kobe, or that, there's resemblances there. I'm not mad at that comparison. because Devin Booker is a certified bucket. You talk about going out there and getting a 40-point triple double as a shooting guard. That's amazing. And then you just got rough riders on that team. I like guys like Michael Bridges. He's a hooper, bro. He like late in games, he steps up, plays defense, makes shots. DeAndre Ayton is a promising young big. It's a young team overall, led by a veteran in Chris Paul. For that reason, I really want them to win the finals. You?
I'm the Suns too. I'm also a big Jay Crowder fan. Something about a guy
Yeah.
wearing 99 just is like in basketball. I love it. And also campaign. He was treated pretty poorly when he was in Chicago, like doubting him. So I want to see him kind of prove all the terrible scouts that were in Chicago wrong. Now they're out of there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm rooting for the Suns 100%. And CP3
Yeah.
too. Like he deserves it like more than anybody.
Absolutely. Let's see. Kayla Sports follows up the Sixers question. It says, what should the Sixers do this offseason? This offseason, I really think they should either trade Ben Simmons or
That fat contract.
exactly, or you gotta just surround him with shooters, with like just straight shooters, people who can shoot the ball. Because if you don't give him guys that can knock down shots at least somewhat semi consistently, like around 35 to 40% at that type of clip, then he's not gonna really excel. He's just not. So, but honestly, what I would prefer as a Sixers fan, just get him out of there. Just get him out of there. Get something good for him. Trade him to the Nuggets for Jamal Murray. I don't know. Get CJ
Confidence is
McCollum from
shot,
the
man.
Blazers. I don't know. I don't even know if you can get Jamal Murray from the Nuggets for Ben Simmons. I don't even think the Nuggets would go for that, seeing what he just did, dropping 5 points in a game 7. It's just unacceptable. Man.
Yeah.
So let's see. Next question comes in from the APRO123. Thank you so much, man. Says, will the Ravens finish top 20 in passing yards this season?
Yes. I don't know where, but I think it has to be. If we think we're going to be as good as we are, it has to be top 20. We're saying let's be average or below average. That's top 20. Like 16 through 20 is average. Getting towards below average, but yeah, we should be. If you can't be average with who we have, shame on you.
Right. Yeah, honestly, man, I think we'd better be at least average, middle of the pack, somewhere in there, if we do plan on winning a Super Bowl. So I'll say that.
Real quick, I know we're talking about Ben Simmons. Have you seen the memes like the Guangdong Tigers memes, bro? Those are so funny.
I have not seen them.
You haven't seen them, bro? I've seen them. It's the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah, you guys send me one, bro. But let's see. Jonathan Washington Jr. says, speaking of Ben Simmons, if Ben Simmons wanted to get better at shooting, he would have already made progression by now. I don't see the desire to get better from him. He's just complacent. This is a good point, because this is not the first time or the first playoff series that the Sixers have been eliminated, and people have kind of thought that the reason that they got eliminated is because Ben Simmons can't score when you really need him to. So he's been through multiple off seasons with that in mind. Like I need to develop my shot, and it just hasn't happened. So I don't know, man. They're gonna have to figure something out.
Literally 1 hour ago, I just got the notification from Bleacher Report. Simmons may flip his shooting hand. It might go from left to right.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he needs to, because he has zero confidence. He has zero confidence.
And just the free throws too, like that. It's fundamental, bro. I learned that. If you play basketball, you learn that as like one of the first things.
Right.
It's free
It's
points.
fundamentals, bro. Like you are bro. I can't even remember where
$170 million player.
$170 million player. I think he went first overall in the draft. I'm pretty sure he did, or he was like a top 3 pick. I just can't remember off the top of my head. But if you can't hit free throws late in games, and teams are literally resorting to the old hack a Shaq and now hack a bin strategy to just foul you, even like if the team is losing. The Hawks were down 24 points in game 5. And what did they do to get back in that game? They purposely fouled Ben Simmons so he can go and shoot and miss free throws. And man, it's just so frustrating. I don't even want to talk about it anymore, man. It's kind of fresh for me. Our guy Don C is in the house. Says, "What's up, Purple Rain Podcast?" Alex and Sutton, what's up, man? We appreciate you for joining us each and every time. Oh yeah, always showing love, man. Let's see. Engraven Videos chiming in with a question here. Says, simply, how was Florida?
Man, it was lovely. Wish I was still there. Weather was fantastic, but man, it just rains out of nowhere. It just will rain. It was sunny and then it just rains. But besides all that, it was lovely, man. Loved it
Other
there.
thing about Florida, man, like I've only been to Florida twice. I went to Disney, or also Orlando, and then I've been to Miami. And just being out there, you know what's so different about like, being in Florida than being like up in like around Maryland, that area, DMV? The traffic. The traffic is so different. Like I'll be
Yeah,
somewhere in like Miami, like with my friends, and like we'll figure out, oh, we want to go to this restaurant. We GPS, it's like, oh, it's only 2 miles away. But little do I know, 2 miles in Miami is like 30 minutes,
yeah.
as opposed to 2 miles back home is like 2 minutes. So it's crazy, man.
I mean, thankfully where I was, like, there was no traffic. That
That's
was
good.
really cool. Yeah, but
That's
the
good.
only thing was I saw way too many Bucks jerseys. And
Mm,
you can just tell who the bandwagons are, bro. If you're a Bucks fan, you ain't wearing no Brady jersey. You're wearing like a Mike Evans. I was like, come on
right.
now, bro. Come on. It's like,
But it's TB12, man. It's kind of monument. It's kind of like when LeBron went to the Lakers. Like, Lakers fans are gonna get a LeBron jersey. Like, come on, man. But I understand. I got you though.
yeah. But I mean, like I said, it was really good, and I'm definitely gonna be back there soon.
All right, so let's see. Our guy Hemo4 says, "What do you think about iCarly being revived?" Did you watch iCarly as a kid?
Yeah.
You did.
Um,
Did you know they were reviving it?
I mean, I saw things about it. I saw like they were cursing. But
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know how I feel about it. Um, I'm probably not gonna watch it.
Yeah, I
I
mean, I
won't
know it's
watch
already
it.
out. They've already got like a couple episodes out, and
But it's
I
the
have
whole.
no
It's
plans
another
on watching
streaming service. How many streaming services are there gonna be?
it. Right, it's like on Paramount Plus or something like that.
I
Like
never
at
even
this
heard of
point,
that.
right? Like I'm not paying for any more streaming services than I already do. So
Exactly.
yeah. All right, but let's see what else we have. Another super chat donation coming in from Asmodeus again. Thank you so much, my man. He says, if y'all ever go to Fort Lauderdale, check out the bar Glitch. Orlando, Aku Aku, Miami Mango. I love Florida. Hey man,
Yeah.
I'll keep those in mind. I'm gonna have to keep those in mind next time I go down there for sure.
Now we
All right.
talking bars. Okay. Okay, Asmodeus. Now
Yeah.
we're talking.
He said, now we're talking. All right, so we'll take a couple more questions from you guys here. Let's see. We got our guy Theo Pencil the Fourth asks us, will Lamar throw for 3,500 plus yards this season?
Yes.
You think so? How many yards did he
Yeah.
throw for in 2019?
Let me see. Well, he sat out tons of quarters, but let me check.
He did. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I don't think he goes over 3,500. I think he might be right around there. He might get close to
3,100.
3,500. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna say he doesn't reach 3,500. At the end of the day, yes, we do have this new and improved receiving core, but we know what the Ravens really want to do. We know what they really want to do. They want to run the ball. They want to lean on teams. That's how they get those big leads. They just absolutely kill teams in time of possession. So yeah, I don't think that he's going to get 3,500 yards this season. If he did, that would be awesome, and that would mean that we are probably going to be a very good football team, a very very good football team. So hopeful, but I don't think he quite makes it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
All right. Let's see. Engraven Videos also chimes in with another question. Says, if the Ravens have the open practice, Sutton, are you coming too? I know Simply is. I didn't know they were doing an open practice.
Training camp, I believe. Yeah. They
Well, yeah,
haven't
they
announced like
normally do.
when.
Yeah, I just didn't know that they were doing it like this year. Like I
Oh yeah,
figured, like,
they're planning to.
okay, okay. Well, shoot, I'm in there. Needless to say, I am in there, 100%. Just let me know. I'm sure we'll find out all at the same time, but I'll definitely be there for sure. As well as that Washington football team preseason game against the Ravens as well. Alex
See,
and
we'll
I will
probably.
predict you.
I can see us having joint practices with them. I can definitely see that.
I can see that. I mean, close in proximity, very close up the
Take the
Beltway.
bus. Yeah, but it's a bus
Literally,
right away.
right. So we'll be there for sure. All right. Hemo4 says, which Ravens player other than Lamar do you think will make the most fantasy points this season? This is a good question. I like this question.
Got to think about it, Tucker. The defense. Mark Andrews. Hollywood.
I'm gonna go. My heart really wants to say J.K. Dobbins.
Oh yeah,
My heart really
Dobbins.
wants to say J.K. Dobbins.
I can't.
He's
I can't. I can't. I can't.
he's RB1 and he's gonna be part of the passing game more.
I know. I want to say Mark Andrews. I think he's going to be getting his fair share of catches, especially in PPR. him a 6-7 catch game for about 70, 80, maybe a touchdown. I'm talking 20
Yeah.
points.
But I think it's more about opportunities, Alex. I think that because J.K. Dobbins, he can get fantasy points on run plays and
True.
passing plays. You know what I mean? Mark Andrews
True.
is just going to get fantasy points on passing plays, and that's when he's targeted. So
My thing is the Ravens. We never know because there will be a game where they have Gus take like the Texans game 2 years ago. Like Gus kind of was only the second half and marking him at the first. It's just I don't know how the Ravens running backs go. So I wouldn't want to get Dobbins and then let's say he has like a 10 carry game for like 30 yards. Say I mean I'm not saying that, but I don't know.
it's possible, man. You know the Ravens, man. They'll definitely surprise us for sure. All right, let's see. Adeep Mahmood chiming in, another one of our guys. Thank you for joining the stream tonight, bro. Says simply, I know he's on the Astros, but how would you feel about the Orioles signing Carlos Correa to a long-term deal? GM Mike Elias with the scout.
Thank you. I'll be right back. You go to another question. Thank you for Adeep. I'll be right back. I got you.
We'll come back. We'll come back to this one, Adeep. We'll come back to that one. I feel like we're about to witness something here. Jonathan Washington Jr. says Dobbins going crazy in fantasy. Oh, you guys are agreeing with me here. Spiritual Dub. Shout out to Spiritual Dub. How you doing, man? Andre Mears, how you doing? J.K. Dobbins. Bruh says Dobbins as well. Yeah, man. I think Dobbins is going to be he's going to have a breakout season. He's going to have that breakout season. If you guys didn't see his Instagram posts from earlier today from the Ravens Media Day, he had a really sweet picture in the studio.
Can't find
Make
it.
sure you guys check that out.
Can you pull up Adeet's one more time, Adeet, real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
I have his Astros jersey. I have his Puerto Rico jersey. I would love for us to get Carlos Correa. He's like one of my favorite players in baseball. I'd be all for it. All for it. I just couldn't find them. I don't know where they're at.
Well, you heard it there first.
Yeah.
All right. Eric Chin says, should we bring back Terrell Suggs? Yeah, man, that's way too late for something like that. But I saw you tweet this morning that you were debating on whether or not you're going to make a Terrell Suggs or Ed Reed video next.
Yeah,
I voted Terrell Suggs. I know you can't see the results of the votes on Twitter, but I voted for Terrell Suggs in that.
Let me see the results.
The results from that, yeah.
I looked it up for a day.
Yeah,
because I feel like I've been asked to do both. I'm like, it's kind of because I just did Mosley.
Yeah.
Speaking of bro, he's gonna have a crazy year. Like, I wish we still had him.
And Graven says you should do both.
Oh, I'm gonna do both. I just don't know who I'm gonna do first.
Who's do first? Yeah.
Suggs, so Reed's winning right now, 62%.
Really?
Yeah.
Boyd says Suggs too. Let us know who y'all would like to see Simply AS10 make a video for next. Terrell Suggs or Ed Reed? Let us know. I'm voting Terrell Suggs. Let's see. Bryce H says Ed Reed. Yeah. And Graven says Ed Reed as well. I mean, I feel it, guys. I really do. But I feel like we really didn't appreciate Terrell Suggs enough. I feel like he always got overshadowed by Ray Lewis. You know, he was a great player, phenomenal player, of course. But I think we should definitely revisit what Terrell Suggs did for this Ravens franchise.
Well, they'll both be done.
Suggs, yeah, they'll both be done. But which one is he going to do first, though? Yeah, you know what I mean? That's what it's all about. And everybody in the Rain Gang is chiming in. It's kind of split. It's kind of Reed, Suggs. Kayla Sports says Reed. Andre Mears says Suggs. Hemo 4 says Suggs. Keenan Ricketts says Reed. Brandon Collins says Reed. It's right down the middle right now. It's right down the middle. If you're part of the replay gang, #replay gang, let us know down below in the comments what you think Simply AS10, none other than yours truly, Simply AS10, man. He is the greatest highlight, man. Listen, if you're not subscribed to Simply AS10, go ahead and subscribe to Simply AS10 right now. But we're talking about which highlight videos you're going to do first, Terrell Suggs or Ed Reed. My money's on Suggs.
Okay.
But, yeah.
I mean, when I think of Suggs, man, do you remember that catch in between his legs against the Steelers, like in 2014, that interception?
I do remember that, yeah.
That's just so like underrated. Like, I don't think some Ravens fans appreciate how hard of a play that is. He was rushing right out the screen, caught it in between his thighs, basically. It was crazy. Yeah.
Big shout out to T Sizzle, man. There was nothing like watching Ravens football on a Sunday and just the camera panning over to Terrell Suggs with his mouth open at all times, no matter what.
Gums. Yeah,
you can see his gums like at all times. It was just like that's Terrell Suggs, man. That's T Sizzle. That was our guy.
He loved talking trash too. Like if we're talking
Yeah,
like the best trash talker in Ravens history, I
yeah,
think so. Because he would literally be just talking to Steeler fans mid game, like.
yeah.
Mm, mm.
He was also, one of those stepped up into that enforcer role. Terrell Suggs, Ray Lewis, they definitely created very big shoes to fill for all linebackers that come through the state of well, not the state, the city of Baltimore to play for the Ravens. But yeah, yeah. So let's see. I think that might do it for the questions tonight, guys. Big shout out to all of you guys who came through the stream tonight. If you're watching this, you're part of the hashtag replay gang. We love you guys just as much. Make sure you guys all leave a like on the video if you enjoyed the content. And if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. And, maybe if you're new, you haven't followed us on Instagram. We do have an Instagram right above both of us up there at the Purple Rain Podcast. Make sure you guys go ahead and check that out as well for all updates on Ravens and Purple Rain Podcast.
Yes.
So with that being said, episode 58, we appreciate you guys so much for coming through. Alex, I'll let you take us out.
Yeah. Probably the next couple episodes are going to be like this, less than an hour. Not a lot to talk about, but when stuff comes out, we'll talk about it. Hopefully, maybe we get a edge rusher sign soon. I mean, Melvin Ingram, Olivier Vernon, Justin Houston, all are out there.
Just saying.
Yeah. Until then, thank you for coming through to episode 58, the Elvis Dumerville, the Peter Boulware, the former LJ Fort episode. I mean, there's just too many of them to name. Right. Thank you for coming through. And as always, stay positive, test negative.
Yeah. And most importantly, call God. Zone Busters for the win. We're going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.